out those disruptor area denial-like kind of operators, right?
Okay.
Liquid are the kind of team where on their attacking half, they're going to be really good at utilizing those utility-heavy operators to...
Team Liquid. Wow, okay. I feel like we've hit quite a spicy ban phase here, man.
Yeah, look, not just that, but they totally just banned out Doki's Iana, as he's just put in the chat as well.
I smell the fear, says Doki. He's been target banned and he doesn't mind whatsoever. Back in the day, people used to target ban Alamau with that smoke. I'm not sure what the idea is for Liquid, whether it's a specific target ban similar to the Iana, or whether it's more that they're expecting to be pushing in that late round. They want to get rid of as much of that late round denial as possible. Surely, Manny, we're not seeing the Kavera be stuck by Doki in
I'm
the
telling you that
round.
much. We are seeing the Kavera being picked in the opening round of Oregon. It is a basement defense, and these guys are not going to sit pretty on the side. They're going to look to roam the entire map.
There's one thing for certain, GT, you never know what they're going to bring out next. This is a team that loves to mix it up, that loves to play with their prey and toy with their food. Team Liquid on their attacking side are going up against one of the most difficult bomb sites to attack in Rainbow Six. And G2 are toying with them. Just have a look at this lineup. Incredibly aggressive. You've got the Kavera, you've got the Oryx, the Ward, and the Mozzie, these amazing roaming operators. And Doki's gone for a bit of a jog.
Well, Liquid, though, they could be meeting fire with fire. Resets, he's got a Maru. Nesk has been given the Ash license. Maybe they're going to meet this extended hold with something fast-paced of their own. But Doki, he's hiding all the way in Small Tower. I don't think they know that he's there.
It seems so unlikely that he's going to be able to find an interrogation, but never say never. I expect the rest of G2 will be looking to shoot drones and pretend like they're roaming and falling off and allow Doki to pick up the pieces on the flank. But this is a damn ballsy opener. You see Benja, he's the one to play inside a Small Tower. To bait out like he is the only roamer up here. And once he gets spotted, oh, surely not the missed drone! I can't believe it! Volps has just walked straight into the Danes' awaiting hands.
They're trying to cut down and dissect this room, but a missed drone does not help their mission. Resets, he's going to go hook into the top of Big Tower, but not met by any resistance on the other side. G2 now in the man advantage can play it safe.
Oh, Liquid, what are you going to do about that? Do you go to hunt the rest of the roamers? Looks like he might be trying to. Nest goes down. Benja's on a tear. Alone on an island, and it doesn't seem to matter. A C4 blind, a stuff and audio call doesn't find anything. The onus is absolutely on Liquid here to punish.
Elusive still inside a kitchen, but Lagonis has him cut off. Diffuser in hand, but the time is ticking away and still ground full control. Not there for Team Liquid. Rounding the corner now is Benja with a P10. Roni in hand, he can't collect anything, but here comes Doki.
Oh, no way! Doki up for the flank inside the Kid Storms! We have an interrogation! In the opening round, G2 show their mettle! They're just having a laugh. Lagonis, the last one! And he is surely doomed to die.
Disaster now for Team Liquid, the opening round. Not going their way whatsoever. The Vultures start to swarm around him. They can give it one, but not two. Benja to close out. Yet another pick for G2 and the first round in the series.
The first time a Dane plays on stage on home turf and he finds a 4K in the opening round. This young prodigy has fit like a glove on G2. He's already a world champion, only 31 days after joining the roster. And now he's just having fun, running around the map like nobody's business.
This is not how you start the mission if you're Team Liquid. This is your map pick, and in the first round, you've already been made a fool. A Kavera interrogation, unheard of at this level of play.
I honestly cannot remember the last time that we saw an interrogation on a major stage. There have been very few, and well, Doki's just toying. He's just having a laugh. Benja as well hit some nasty shots in that round. For Liquid, that's got to be a tilter. How do you come back from that?
You've got to give them respect from here on out, right? G2, they've just made fun of you. Now it's time to play the cautious game. Lean more into that roam clear. We can see Volps and Palu both picking off onto roam clear operators, right? We've got the Dokkaebi. There was a Lion. Actually, both of them are gone now. So this would indicate to me maybe they're going for something more direct. They don't even want to address the roam at all. They just want to cut down on the site.
Not a bad idea, but you've got to get to the building first, and Benja's not interested in letting that happen.
Scary stuff here. Decide to back off. No one coming around the garage side of the map, but for Liquid, for me, the onus is on him, but hang on a moment. Benja's just heard the Garo hook off from Resets, who's now all the way on the roof, in fact. Hasn't actually entered into the big tower yet, so here we go. Liquid playing the respectful and cautious game. Not getting in too early on G2.
Good drone work, and of course the Lion. When G2's running around like little rats, of course you're going to bring that out. Good read from Lagonis, just one round in. What Liquid are trying to do here, they'll have to get a move on with. You can see, as you said, Manny, so respectful, but that just means that time's ticking away.
Well, that's what you got to do when you play against G2, right? These guys play such a proactive defense, the most adaptive team, in my opinion, the entire remaining 8 roster here at these finals. They're going to be on that front line. They're going to be facing you as you come into the building. You need to be respectful as you walk in. The second line scan to bring out almost 4 players on drones there as well. They're really cautious to enter this building.
G2 know exactly when to dial it down as well. Have a look at this. Doki's just playing this really passive game. Oh, he's actually made his way back into Master. Benja finds the opener with a C4. But hang on, here comes Volps and Palu straight into the site. G2 somehow managed to find one out of it. Alamau, he's got a kill. Benja's doubled on down, and Team Liquid, a nice attempt, but Alamau says absolutely not. Palu with it all to do inside of the site. 4 players to find. He's picked by Doki. G2 take absolutely no prisoners, and it's an easy retake.
It was a good try there from Team Liquid. They tried to hit the double window side of the map, come up wide, come up behind the defense of G2, but Alamau was there and he was ready for it. He had this really aggressive setup on side of the closet, right? And he could rotate into the front of the side and to the back of the side as well. He completely shut down that attack from Team Liquid. It was unsuccessful.
G2 fans coming out in full force already. We're just 2 rounds in, but this has been a dominant match. Even though we've barely begun. 2 kills in 2 rounds for the entirety of Team Liquid. And the replays are really just a Benja highlight package. Let's have a look at this C4. Just perfect teamwork, isn't it? Doki calling out, hey, there's a player up here. Alamau almost caught out, but he ended up having quite an impact in the round as well. What a performance already from Benja. He hasn't yet died, and he's got, what, 6 kills to his name.
The perfect start here for G2 as they make their run through the finals bracket. The next bomb side of choice will be Meeting and Kitchen. Tertiary bomb side, of course, as they've won the previous 2, and it looks like G2 are going to look for a bit of an extension over onto the top floor. There's not too much going down inside of the small tower. It seems like Liquid have identified that. They've put 2 or 3 players over on that side already. Meanwhile, pressure from the big towers we've seen time and time again as well. Just trying to pinch out both sides of the map and see where the opportunity comes from.
We haven't really had a proper round yet from Liquid, have we? But perhaps, as you said last round, going more direct could be the play. It's what Liquid tried, but unfortunately, Alamau put a stop to it. This round, it seems to be, I don't know, a bit of a mix for Liquid. They've got some set up directly towards Big Tower, and here some towards Small as well. Palu on the Hibana just clearing out some of these castle barricades.
I like this from Team Liquid. They're putting pressure on every side of the map. They're keeping the defense guessing, making sure that G2 don't exactly know what's going on. It's unpredictability is the name of this game, right? They've even got control inside a garage and are about to cut down on this meeting setup, although Mute Jammer's going to stop their way.
This is not super easy now for Liquid. A lot of information to gather. Alamau with the M870 on Thor, not something you see every day. He's playing on these rear stairs. He's got some barbed wire to assist. This is a very awkward setup for Team Liquid to tackle, as Alamau actually gets a little bit aggressive here.
Nice off position for Alamau, but he's flashbanged out of his position, forced to retreat back down to the stairs. 2 Liquid players now have entered into the building, but might not realize they can still see through the little footsie holes. Nesco is completely away. He turns around and collects a second.
The timing was perfect there for Nesk, and now Virtue, he's got no clue what's going on. Doki and Benja to pick up the pieces in a 2v5, but it could well be nigh flawless for Liquid. Poor Benja, 7 kills. 0 deaths, surely that's about to change. An 8th kill for him, but the cutoff from Volps. Liquid are finally on the scoreboard.
They absolutely needed that. Onto the tertiary bomb side as well, they did a great job at picking apart the defense of G2, pressuring both sides of small and big tower, and then finding the point of least resistance for them to make their way. And it was really Nesk that opened it up, finding a small hole into that kitchen hallway and collecting 2 that really opened up big tower control to their name. And really fantastic work there from Team Liquid to find that opening and claim a round.
It's similar what we've seen 2 rounds in a row now from Team Liquid. This very opportunistic, hey, I think I see an opening, let's go for it. Volps tried it with Palu in the second round on that Dorms attack, but unfortunately, just not checking corners correctly meant that the round was not theirs. But Nesk here really made a massive headway for Liquid by getting those first 2 kills. From then on out, it was a spiral. As we so typically see for G2, sometimes if the rug is ripped out from underneath them, they get a little bit ahead of themselves. And now that Team Liquid have found their first round, I'm starting to feel, Mandy, like that momentum that G2 had asserted is starting to slip away, and Liquid might have finally woken up.
Well, what worries me is that G2 can go back down to that basement bomb site, and they were really dominant on the first round. Now we're seeing a very different philosophy here. There's no more Kavira, lo and behold. There's still the Oryx, so they can still be mobile here on the ground floor on their roam, but it's a little bit more reserved towards the bomb site. Ben just gone onto the Goyo. He's going to set up for the late game.
And Alamau somehow has found the opener onto the Maverick. Not exactly sure where that went down.
I think that went down onto blue.
In blue, okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Unfortunate, trying to get that blue bunker early, but was met with a little bit of aggression on the other side, and so Team Liquid are down on their Maverick. Now, this is really important, right? There's Cade on the board, and so having Maverick was mission critical to try and getting open some of these hatches if Habana can't do so. And so now Lagonis, making his way in from lobby, has got a lot of work to do as the only remaining support.
But it looks like, once again, Liquid have found an opening and they're sending it down. 2 players have made their way down the freezer stairs. Now it's a very awkward position to push while the wall is open. Benja! He's broken double digits in just 4 rounds. He's having the time of his life. And well, what do Liquid do from here?
Tough here from Liquid. It's time to back up and have a chat, really. You've got a full minute and 40 seconds left on the clock. You may as well have a chat about what's happening next, right? G2 have been so dominant. Benja, in particular, 10 kills to his name. Blur hasn't even got 1. Neither is Virtue.
To be honest, I don't think most of the G2 players have ever even found themselves in a position where they need to. Benj has just been straight farming. Nesk is waiting for over-aggression, but I just don't think that's going to happen. G2 are cold as ever.
Yeah, they're playing a discipline game, even in 5-on-2. Look, they can give Nesk 1, that's Virtue. He's looking for his first. Isn't able to find it, but Alamau is...
Yeah, Benja to close. My God, double digits, 11 kills. He is having a ripper of a game already.
He's looking so good so far in the series. 3-1 now. Alamau's animated as he's ever been here on the major stage.
Major stage, which he's raised the trophy on before as well. It's actually only 3 players in the match right now who have never raised a trophy at a major, a Six Invitational, or a Pro League Finals. It's Palu, Volps, and Resets, all 3 of which, of course, on Team Liquid. But Lagonis is now the leader of that team, and he's got to pull the guys' heads in. You got to wonder at what point, Manny, do Liquid try and call a tactical timeout. Hugsword is behind them, and he's always the guy that keeps these players in check, that brings that extra layer of dimension to Team Liquid. And it's exactly what they need when G2 are just having a laugh.
I don't think they need to call it just yet, right? For me, it's more about this early game that's going wrong for Liquid. They're not able to shut down Benja. He's always there in those opening engagements. He's getting his head straight in. He really plays it for the crowd, doesn't he?
Alamau absolutely loves it. I have no doubt that he can hear you guys. When you get loud, Alamau, he can hear it, and he's playing with you.
I think the crowd has very much felt in the presence of the server for sure for G2. There are so many of them out there, all of y'all fans at the moment. But yeah, for Liquid, this is such a tough point, right? Technical timeout, I think, is where we're at, so it does give them an opportunity to talk. Probably why they didn't take the tactical.
Well, it's Lagonis who's got to do a lot of the talking here. Of course, Hugsword, as this is not a tactical, it's a technical timeout. The coach can't speak. I don't even think the players are able to speak. As you can see, all of them just chilling out. I think Liquid do really need to chill now. They need to just steel their nerves. Don't get too in their heads. Look, you're 3-1 down on Oregon. That's not too bad. G2 aren't able to go back to Laundry Supply. This could very realistically end at a 3-3 half. Liquid just need to pull their heads a little bit on those Dorms attacks, and they could definitely find 2 in a row here and even it going into their own defense.
I think it's exactly right. I think it's time for Liquid to recompose and try and win out on these early games, because really, it's just the getting into the building and actually winning the entry fight that's not quite going their way. The man advantages are almost always swung in the way of G2.
Yeah, in fact, every single round so far, the team that's got the opening pick has converted to a round win. So the only round that Liquid won was when Ness got past, I can't remember who it was, Alamal playing on the wrist airs with the Thorn on that meeting attack, and he snuck through, got 2 kills. It was a big opener for Liquid, but as we've said, G2 have been in control of these early rounds.
It's good that we get to have a look back in on the first few ones. This is going to traumatize Liquid for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, I could watch back that clip with the interrogation all day long. I mean, Doki's just thinking, what am I playing right now? Is this a casual game?
Oh no, you can't say that in a quarterfinal, Dev.
Well, I have no doubt that G2 will be talking much worse smack than that before the day is done.
Not safe for broadcast. We can't tell you that.
Well, we are back in the server now, guys. I can confirm that. And we're about to get cooking once again. G2 up 3-1. Liquid have struggled to find their footing. And here's a curveball, Mandy. G2 are taking us to a 4th different bomb site.
Ooh, this one's exciting. They're going to try and complete the world tour and show full dominance on every single bomb site. Even a small tower hold to boot with it. Seems like his Doki's going to dedicate 2 of his ADS charges to this defense. Will Liquid actually try and respect this and clear it out from the small tower? Or are they going to try and find the weakness in the defense instead? That's my question for them.
Well, we haven't really seen Liquid look for a head-on attack yet, have we? Even on that meeting attack, it wasn't like Liquid looked to hard clear the positions. They looked for openings. They looked for ways to get explosive, and that seems to be the pattern. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Really big hold here, even opening up that single wall going into the bomb site itself. 2 players dedicated to the setup going on here. It's going to be Virtue really mobile here on the Oryx, and it does actually seem like they're going to go in towards that small tower side of the map. Nesk to be the first point of contest, as he's already up here on the balcony.
Just droning out any spawn peaks. A lot of respect given to G2 by Liquid here, you can see. Yeah, what is the clear, right? Is this going to be a small tower into dining execute? Is this going to be some pressure on meeting, some pressure on the green hallway into kitchen? Perhaps a full dorms take.
So it seems like Nesk has discovered the setup now here inside of the small tower and is going to try and keep Bay on it. Meanwhile, the rest of his team seem to be droning elsewhere on the map. This is the Liquid playstyle. You don't just make something linear happen in the map. You probe the entire map and then figure out where you want to go. You plan for all eventualities. So we can see the rest of Liquid players, they're not here supporting Nesk. They're looking for other ways in.
Yeah, but just look at was blocking off some angles with his Kiba barriers. Got a lot of ambitious map control from G2. Those blue outlines swarming around the map. Really, Liquid, with half the round done, haven't achieved a lot.
Nesk might be able to find the cutoff onto the play inside the white hallway, but the Kiba barrier protects him. Meanwhile, Resets, though, he's found some control inside of the big tower and can start to make his way in towards kitchen. It seems like Liquid are going to pivot towards this lobby side attack.
May well work out. Meeting control has been sustained now by Liquid, and there's good information on the site. Volps, oh, he slowed a player for just a dire moment, receives a couple of bullets in response. And now Liquid send their players deep through meeting, looking for an opening into kitchen. Volps does find it as Benja goes down for the 2nd time this match. Nesk has also made his way deep into server, and he's backstabbed inside a kitchen. The site has been forfeited by G2. Players above will now look to deny the plant.
A little bit of vertical control, though, might spell the death of them as the plant starts to go down. Nesk able to clean up Blur, but as the execute comes forth, it's going to be on the retake. G2.
Well, it might be possible now. Virtue's found one, but okay, with that, surely it isn't. Doki's been taken out above, and it's a 1v4 for poor Virtue. Liquid, their most dominant round yet. Resets locks it in. And on the back of the technical pause, Liquid have a response.
They're keeping in it. Nesk and Volps, any energy is good energy here in the stadium. For Team Liquid. Now 2 rounds up, that's more manageable of a scoreline here on their own map pick, keep in mind. The part that I'm more on a Dorms attack just yet. So I think for Team Liquid, it's about finding the momentum and their mojo and being able to land something really, really dominant.
Well, that's why this next round is going to be so telling, isn't it? Dorms is open, and I highly expect G2 will be taking us there. If Liquid are able to win this, not only will they have strung 2 rounds together in a row, bringing the momentum back on their side, but they will also have evened the scoreline going into their own defense, likely taking the lead after going to their first laundry defense. And we can certainly see, as you said, the energy has risen up now for the Brazilians. They're fired up, and they're ready to close up the half.
It is so good to see Nesk and Volps get excited there. The younger player and the older player of this roster. Nesk, who went quiet in 2022, but in 2023 has found so much more confidence to him. Has really found his home solidified here on Team Liquid, and for Volps, just injecting that young gunner energy into the roster has been so exciting for them.
Volps was 13 years old when Nesk was playing in Pro League for the first time.
Wow.
How unbelievable is that? I mean, I've no doubt every player in Brazilian Rainbow Six has looked up at one point or another to Nesk, the god of Brazilian Rainbow Six, the OG. And, well, he's a bit of an oldie now, 28 years old, and he's still absolutely killing it in the server.
He absolutely is, and here we go, yet another attack for Team Liquid. The final one, in fact, onto the top floor of G2. Kids and Dorms, the final bomb site of choice for these guys, and well, the part that scares me here is how good is the Azami going to be? Last time, Liquid really struggled to actually crack down on that hold inside a trophy. G2 is so good at using that adaptively.
Benj has been given a license to roam, takes a lot of damage for his trouble, and Palu's Lion locks him in place. Like this from Liquid. Already a minute in, and they put a hell of a lot of pressure on these roamers.
This is really good. They're going to use the combination of the Dokkaebi and the Lion scans to actually get their entries in and try and take down Benja. One more Lion for Palu, as well as 2 more Logic Bombs for Volps, as well as going to put these defenders in the ground floor in a little bit of danger.
Liquid aren't falling into the trap of hard hunting these roamers. Instead, they've got some information, and Nesk has been enabled on the back of a drone on side, but he goes down to Alamau. Liquid do manage to find the opening pick regardless, as Alamau has finished off Nesk, and Volps is going in for the trade. He finishes off what was left of Alamau. And now Liquid look to convert the site control they have attained for themselves. Benja, an airball C4, and Volps is shut down Blur out of the site, all up to the Dane, and he's not gonna get it. Liquid tie up the half, 3 rounds apiece.
Really nice pacing there from Liquid in that round. They took their time to put the pressure on the roamers that were going on the ground floor, but as soon as they found that opportunity to go up the white stairs, the refrags came through. All 4 players came through on that, and it was Lagonis that somehow ended up inside of kids' dorms after all of that to get the bomb down. There's such great leadership from the IGL of the team to make that call through the mid-round and capitalize on the opportunity.
I gotta say, this kind of siege is so entertaining to watch, but also my brain just can't keep up with how many different things are going on the map at one time, Mandy. Like, you've got G2 roaming, anchoring, getting aggressive, making a play, and then you got Liquid just finding openings out of nowhere.
It's so impressive to hear these guys all fired up now. 3-3, the scoreline even as they go on to their defending half. The basement's going to be the first bomb site of choice for Team Liquid as they look to hold on to this in a more anchor-centric style. We've got the combination of the Azami with their Whammies and the Goys as well, so that would lean into the idea that they're more playing for the late game. They're more playing for the execute stage for the round to try and put that resistance to G2.
It does feel to me like there's a little bit more pressure on Team Liquid than on G2 to win this specific map, right? It's Liquid's map pick. They played it just the other day against Wolves. It was a good 7-5. In contrast, G2 lost this in EUL to Virtus Pro. So this should, in theory, be a Team Liquid favored map. Now they've got to prove that it was worth picking on their defensive side, but G2 are wasting absolutely no time whatsoever. Benja very efficiently droning himself up into Master, being very cautious to C4s. Notice the way he stopped running to prevent Liquid from getting the timing on a potential C4 through the floor, as Doki has also made his way in the building.
Well identified from G2, realizing that Team Liquid have given them a lot of respect through the map. Full map control on both the top and the ground floor has been given away to the attack, and they're making their way in nice and quick. A full 2 minutes left on the clock, and Blur's already getting these hatches open. It's a really quick time for G2 to set.
Yeah, and have a look at that. No Kai to deny these hatches as well, so Blur's going to make real quick work of them. 1 minute 50 left on the clock, Mandy. And G2 are looking very good. They've got full map control. They got these hatches open, and they can start setting their sights on clearing out this utility that Team Liquid have brought to the table.
Yeah, so from here, it's about constructing the execute that they want to go for. They want to enable it with the Ying on Alamau. The IGL, he wants to put himself in the push with the flashbangs, but Palu is on the other side with the Warden. They cannot face him head-to-head. They need to isolate that gunfight first before they go for that execute.
So where will that execute go down? Will there be pressure outside of blue? Will there be pressure from the electrical hatch? Is this going to be a front take? It's hard to know as of yet, as Team Liquid are still darting their way around. Doki has, however, opened up this barrels wall, and Nesk is trapped in a corner.
But do they know that he's even there? There's no way they're going to get a drone, and it's like they try to drop the E-box hatch, but Nesk can collect one,
no!
a second, a third, to his name as G2 funnel into the defense of Team Liquid.
Oh, he's just insane. He finds a 3K, but G2 do find 2 kills out of it. It's up to Blur and Virtue, but Nesk, 4 kills, can't be a 5th. But it might not matter, Virtue's not going to be able to clutch the rounds. Team Liquid have stolen the lead.
There's no way that they could have known that Nesk was in that position. Great choice for him to be somewhere that they had absolutely no info from. And as they went for that hatch drop, he completely just collected all those kills. They didn't even look at him.
Absolutely no clue. G2 caught out lacking. However, you got to consider that is just laundry supply. That is the hardest bomb site to attack on this map. So G2, they won't dwell too much on the mistakes of that round. They'll just say, all right, GR, let's go next.
That's exactly right, and what that means is Liquid is going to go onto a tertiary bomb site, right? It means that they've got to pick something that is in the basement, not something nearly as strong, and the next bomb site of choice for these guys is actually going to be the kitchen and dining. Wow, my gosh, 4 kills for Nest coming through in the replays. Could have been an ace there.
Yeah.
I think it was just a bit of a run out of bullets kind of situation with that Karatos.
What a reaction from Nest. I don't think I've ever seen him get so animated. Not in the last couple years. It's just so great to see Nesk back and firing once again.
That's exactly right. It means so much to see him back in his form and back in the server with so much energy, right? Last year, there were lots of questions about his age. Was he going to retire? Was this going to be the end for Nesk if Team Liquid didn't claim a win? He looked really unconfident in the server, but Team Liquid, the org, really supported him in these last couple months. And we speak his name, and he finds a kill. A spawn peek onto Blur as he's really turning it up in the server.
Hey, Nesk is absolutely godlike. He hasn't changed a bit since he first debuted back in, 2016, 2017 in the Pro League. He was the player to fear. And he showed that age does not matter in esports. He's holding on to this power position inside a small tower, and the onus is on G2. Are they going to look to hard clear him? Will they lead to his own devices and put their attention elsewhere?
Okay, well, Ben just seems pretty aware that someone is trying to help out Nest from all the way inside of dorms. Virtue's able to shut him down in his position, so at least one traded back there for G2, 4-4.
That's a big pick, and with it, with this drone from Virtue, a lot of map control now afforded for G2. As Resets has pulled on back now, Mandy, we've actually gone to kitchen dining this round. We saw a similar kind of defense from G2, but have a look at this rotation now from Liquid. They're getting very aggressive, getting very active on this defense.
Interesting though, because small tower control is really the main push here for G2. They're gonna get this wall open. They're gonna try and use the glass to aid the execute as it comes down. No more smokes though in the hands of the attack, so it's just gonna be used for cover.
Oh, but Virtue, he goes a little bit too deep, a little bit too early, and he loses his life to the Showers player of Resets. Now Benja is gonna have to do what he does best. Doki now brings out the bearing, and he's going deep inside of the site. No, that's not the bearing, that's the sniper! And it doesn't matter how ranged finished it is. He'll find some kills with it regardless. Palu, though, does find Benja. The trade comes through once again. Every now and then, you just have a Doki round where he puts the team on his back, and we might have found one here. A 4K will be required for the Scot, as Lagonis is holding on, but I think Doki knows. Apparently not. Lagonis saves the round there for Liquid, who now have a 2-round buffer over G2.
The captain of the team puts them all on his back as he's able to win that 1v1 out to Doki and claim yet another round. Team Liquid up now in this map. 5-3 is the scoreline. And I think that's what we expected from them on their own map pick.
Great grit showed here from Team Liquid to stave off the 3-1 deficit that they started facing down, and now they've got 4 rounds in a row. You see, when you got firepower like Doki, when you got basically all the players on G2 firing on all cylinders, Liquid have to be so careful. They have to back themselves in. I just love Nesk's reaction. How does he inhale enough oxygen when he's shouting so loud? I have no idea.
It's actually so cool how mentally these guys are in it. Every single round win, they're screaming their little hearts out, and it's incredible. We're going to go up to the top floor as the next bomb site of choice for Team Liquid to try and put them on match points. We're going to see Palu, who's going to bring along the Oryx and is going to make himself mobile on the ground floor, and it's going to be aided by the info of Volks, who's decided to bring along the Valkyrie as well. So he's going to inform exactly where the roamers can go, what's safe, where the attack is coming from. G2 are going to have to be quite careful as they enter into the building.
What kind of attack will we see here from G2? No Ying, so none of that explosivity that we saw from Liquid on this bomb site. A lot of tools, though, to play a much more conventional game. We could see vertical nades from Benja. We got the Thatcher-Hibana combination to deal with the hard breach.
And I think that's exactly right. For the most part, G2 and Liquid have a pretty similar attacking style, don't they? They like to probe the map. They like to see what opportunities they can find before they dedicate themselves to something. They've realized that the wall does have just a K on it, and they can clear it pretty easily with an EMP, as Thatcher did slip through the band face. And that's a rotational already being made from Blur to go straight into the bomb site.
Very nice and early as well. Alamau has made his way into Big Tower, but there's no hard breach available for him to open up this wall into Attic.
Tough one. They need the EMPs over on this side if they want to do an Attic push. Reload. Not sure if Virtue has decided to relocate himself over to support his teammate or not, but so far the pressure for G2 comes around that master side of the push. Now, do Team Liquid know? They have a C4 down below with Volks. So even if they try to go for that default plant, they need to worry about the pressure from below. Benja's managed to make his way up the armory stairs and can start a mount towards this late game.
Has actually dropped all the way down into the basement now. Could go for a late flank onto a player on white stairs, but good information now from G2 on the site. They've spotted the one player who's inside of kids' dorms, a couple of red pings to assist as well. Now Blur is going to open up more lines of sight. Oh, Benja really wants to find this kill. Volps is on for a flank, though. He could find Benja.
Ooh, this is a tough position now for G2 with only a minute ticking down. They need to formulate and execute. They need to make their plan known. And Ness to take down Blur does not help their mission. Volks looking for the flank, but he whips the shots as Benja's able to 180 and take him down. Virtue for the second, but traded back by resets.
Here comes the execute from G2, but it seems to fall a bit flat, and Nesk and Palu to double down at the end of it. Out of seemingly nowhere, Liquid have found 5 rounds in a row.
G2 tried to go for an explosive execute there, move in through Trophy with that diffuser, as well as try and jump in through Attic, jump in through Big Window. It was a multifaceted execute in the end for G2, but Team Liquid were ready for it. It was Nesk, once again, the spearhead of the anchor setup to collect that first one for Team Liquid, and then the trades completely spiraled out from there, and G2 couldn't close out the attack.
I think it's about time for a textbook Fabian tactical timeout. G2 staring down match point, or map point rather, on their opponent's map pick. They need 3 rounds straight. But likewise, Hugzord also has a chance to go and chat with Liquid, who are looking very happy, very animated. Big smile on Palu's face just there. Lagonis, cool and cold as ever. but a lot needs to be said here in the G2 camp.
Let's turn this around. That was the final line from Fabian there in that timeout. Match point now for Team Liquid, but it's not over yet for G2. Look, Fabian tactical timeouts, they always deliver, don't they?
They do, but this is a very tall order, Mandy. Liquid have map point with Laundry unlocked, right? Now, this is the hardest bomb site to attack. We haven't seen a successful attack from either team onto this bomb site as of yet. The only bomb site that you can say such about in this game thus far. So G2 really need to turn it around now. And the fact that Liquid will have 3 rounds of buffer, and by that time, all the bomb sites will be available, it just seems so indomitable.
Well, I see a blitz pick.
10 seconds.
Okay.
Bomb located.
And you know when
5 seconds.
LML goes on to blitz, that he means trouble.
5 seconds left.
Now, what worries me here is, once again, Apollo is on the Wardens, so if they somehow get some info that there is a blitz coming through, that they put Paulo in the right spot, he's already starting out nice and early, but actually on the wrong side of the map to where Alamau is spawned.
Alamau is actually making a rotation, not going into bunker like you would expect. He's going here in a small tower, or big tower rather, and he has definitely been heard, there's no doubt about it. He makes his way already into T1, takes out the camera. I think Liquid have just fallen off. The great thing here is now Alamau has cut off the rotation of any roamers looking to go back through big tower onto site, but have a look at that. Complete lack of roamers. 5 on site for Liquid.
I actually like this from Team Liquid. Their entire lineup leans into playing that anchor-centric setup. They've got the K to try and hold on to these hatches for a little bit longer, and as well as the passive intel and the Banshees of resets to keep this blitz at bay. It's going to force G2 to have to dial it back a little bit, send in some of these explosives, and actually try and clear out what's on the site before they funnel into it and make that mistake again.
Well, as far as Laundry attacks go, this is pretty good progress now from Liquid. 1 minute down, full map control, and looking nicely ready to start putting some pressure on site. Now, what is G2 going to do about these electroclaws? I think they might have to forfeit the ability to go for any of these hatches. There's no Thatcher on the board.
Well, the main thing here is that they need to create a pathway into the bomb site, right? The push, the idea is that it's going to be spearheaded by the blitz. But if there are things like Malusi Banshees in the way, keeper barriers for them to peek around or hide around, or if there's a warden in front of his face, that's going to stop them from getting into the bomb site, right? So we can see Doki in the back of bunker trying to create that way in and trying to open up the defense so that Alamau can inject himself in.
Well, G2 have managed to open up that electrical hatch above, so I definitely think a back push is on the cards here as Benja is flashed out. Where's Alamau rotating?
You never know with G2, they just keep you guessing, don't they? The Hibana try and clear out this back position with a minute ticking down on the clock, as it seems like they're actually going to pivot for a front take instead. Alamau entering in from garage, and what are they going to do from here?
Great question. I'm sure Team Liquid are asking themselves the same. Last-ditch effort now for G2 as they prepare for their execute. Income in the nades from Benja. There's a player who's just sent it all the way straight from the rear side. Benja falls, and Liquid have staved off this defense incredibly well. Volps to find one, to find the double! Can you hear the cavalry calling? Liquid, with 6 rounds in a row, have just stolen their map pick. We'll go to a quick break, but Liquid have put G2 on the ropes.